Hello and welcome to The Popcorn Isn't Real.
Hello.
I'm Leif Eric and I'm here with my co-host Torvald. This is the podcast where we talk about fan theories. Fan theories regarding film. Sometimes we even get guests on.
What is your all-time favorite blue-collar meets sci-fi movie about like a crew of basically space truckers? If you could see my shirt right now, then you would know what movie I'm talking about.
Oh, whoa. Look at your shirt. Oh, look at my shirt. Oh, wait, mine's an Alice in Wonderland shirt.
Whoa, that's not the movie I'm talking about.
Well, you know what? What you described sounded like Alien.
Yeah, that's what's on my shirt. It's a big alien egg with the word alien. Wow. The weirdest thing about this alien egg is it seems to be like splitting open on the side and like green goo is oozing out of the side, and that's not how alien eggs
that's
open.
Not how they work. They have little hinges at the top.
They've got like
four
bird
little
beaks
hinges
at the top. Yeah, so wait, we're talking about Alien, right? That's what we're going to be talking about today? No, that's not the movie I was describing. I was describing everybody's favorite childhood film, the riveting sci-fi comedy horror existential crisis film called Dark Star.
Dark Star?
Yeah. Dude,
oh my gosh.
Everyone knows
I
and
love
loves
Dark Star.
It is
John Carpenter's Dark Star?
Not just John Carpenter. We got to give him credit. It's John
Dan
Carpenter
O'Bannon?
and Dan O'Bannon. John Carpenter and Dan O'Bannon's masterpiece from when they were just students. They were just a couple of little kids wanting to make their own little movie. Yeah, no, anyone who hasn't seen Dark Star needs to go watch Dark Star because it's not only a piece of film history, it's also, many believe, you included, many believe that it's the origins of the Alien franchise, right?
When you watch Dark Star, you are going to think that it is a low-budget parody of Alien.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Despite the fact that it was made before
it came
Alien.
First. It was proto-Alien. It's ridiculous because it's clearly a parody, but it's parodying a movie that won't exist for like another 10 years. Or not quite 10, but...
Yeah. I mean, it also, you could call it a proto The Thing as well, because it has a lot of similarities to The Thing.
I mean, it's got a lot of beard-faced, mumbly men in it.
I like these ones because they're supposed to be funny, and you're not really supposed to like them much, but you are supposed to kind of be making fun of them.
This movie, Dark Star, has a lot of characters, and I can't tell anybody apart. So
I can tell Pinback apart. That's his name, right?
Well, I mean, I can tell Boiler apart because he's blonde. The rest of
Boiler
them look the same. But let's go through
personalityless bully, I guess. I don't know.
Right. So we got Lieutenant Doolittle. He's basically in charge since the actual commander, Commander Powell, had an accident. Doolittle is mean. He's angry. He's cynical. And he basically just wants to blow things up and surf. I kind of hate Lieutenant Doolittle. I think he's just like
he's bad
piece of crap.
He is.
You mentioned Sergeant Pinback. He is actually played by Dan O'Bannon himself, which is really cool.
And I would call him the protagonist of this film.
Yeah,
even though
except
he kind of isn't.
Just isn't in the climax of the movie. But no, he's great. He's probably the best character in the movie. It turns out, you find out in the movie that his name is not Pinback. He's actually a guy named Bill Frug. He says you have to score 700 on the SAREs, but he only got 58, so he wasn't allowed to be an astronaut. He was instead a liquid fuel maintenance technician, and he became an astronaut when the real Pinback came running towards him naked and jumped into a vat of fuel. And this guy put on the real Pinback spacesuit, and then they thought he was Pinback, so they pulled him on board the ship. Well, yeah, he was going to jump in and save the real Pinback, but they were like, hey, the ship's launching, you got to get on. And he couldn't tell anyone because he couldn't work the radio. So he just ended up going on this
ship.
That
might kind of tell you how ship launches seem to work, and ships in general seem to work in this universe. Everything's super blue collar.
Yeah.
And also everything is super political. Like they're running out of supplies, but they have to wait on Congress, and also their messages take like 7 years to get back home.
10 years. I mean, honestly, that's really fast for how far away they say they are. But So there's Boiler. He's basically you might know him as the blonde guy with a mustache and like kind of a mullet. He seems to be in charge of finding new places to blow up. There's Talby, who, although he was played by somebody named Andrea Pasic, he was voiced by John Carpenter. So that was interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, Talby basically likes to stay up in the observation chamber all alone all the time. He doesn't interact with the other guys. He does continually try to radio them with important information, but they keep ignoring him, and
they ignore it.
He just wants to see the Phoenix asteroids. That's all he wants. I mentioned Commander Powell. He's played by Joe Saunders, but he is also voiced by John Carpenter. He was killed by a short circuit in the rear panel of his chair. So basically his own chair killed him, and he was placed in cryogenic sleep. So he now lives in a block of ice, and they wake him up sometimes to ask him
He can
questions.
still talk.
There is the computer, which I have seen credited in multiple places as
Mother.
The Mutter computer. Like Mutter computer. Like Mutter. Mother. I mean, clearly that's what
Mother,
it's supposed to be.
but with like a weird pronunciation.
Well, right. I just think that's weird because clearly that's supposed to be like Mother Computer, but this is before Alien. So kind of odd. But yeah, she was played by Cookie Knapp, and I think she had just the perfect voice. She's
amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Yeah.
So much better than Mother in Alien.
I know. I love
does
that computer.
Nothing.
She's awesome.
Doesn't take care. It's not motherly at all.
No, this computer is very motherly. She takes care of them. And then there's one more character who is the alien, which is actually just a beach ball, but he is apparently played by Nick Castle, as in Michael Myers, like the actor who played Michael Myers. I guess he was wiggling around this beach ball.
Yeah, he clearly wasn't in that suit because
no, it wasn't a suit; it was a ball.
And there's of course Bomb 19
there's the
and
bombs,
Bomb 20.
Yeah. Just a couple of sentient planet-destroying bombs, which, how could that be a problem? That seems like a great idea to make those. But no, you tell us, what are they doing?
What going in that direction?
What is this group of misfits doing with these sentient bombs? What's their job?
Yeah, so they fly around the galaxy looking for two things, either intelligent life or planets that are unstable, whatever that means.
Well, they're supposed to find what they call rogue planets, and that would be a planet that is not only inhospitable, but also poses a danger to colonization efforts that may happen in the future. So they're basically looking for planets that either aren't on an orbit, that are just like flying around out there with no orbit, or planets that are on an unstable orbit. And if they find one, they will drop a bomb, turn on their force fields, and warp away while the bomb blows away the entire planet. The problem is that those bombs are, for some reason, sentient.
Yeah, they have their own weird AI.
Yeah.
And they're very argumentative.
Yeah.
Also, you could call them, they're like a blue-collar Death Star, I guess, but much smaller.
Yeah, sure. You could call them that. Blue-collar Death Star. I like it.
It is equally important part of their mission to find intelligent life.
Well, not according
they
to
personally don't care about that.
Doolittle doesn't
like
want to.
There's
He's
a
mad
95% chance of intelligent life on this one planet, and Doolittle's like, no, I don't want that. That's crap. Find me something to blow up.
Some more planets.
And they find a planet with 85% chance of being unstable, which is less than the chance of intelligent life on that other one, but that's where they go.
Yeah, they'd rather blow up a planet. So yeah, if this movie sounds like wacky and zany and like off the wall and really entertaining to you, please don't be fooled. It is none of those things.
It is.
It's amazing.
Alien and The Thing, if they were slightly funnier.
Yeah, it is.
But like very like dry humor.
A comedy directed by John Carpenter, right? Like, I mean, I guess we have
thinking like
we have
Big
like
Trouble Little
Big
China,
because
that's kind of over the top.
We have Escape from New York.
Yeah, he can do over the top, but he's not doing it here.
No, I was gonna say it has some similarities to those, but it is far more subdued than either of those movies.
Yeah.
Like far more.
if you are like, I love this movie. I feel like this movie influences so much of my writing. Just the way it's funny, it's absurd, and also everyone dies in the end.
Yeah,
it's like sad at the same time. So I love everything about it. I love each character's arc except for Boiler, who has no arc, but the other three are great.
Yeah.
But even if you are a super fan like me, don't watch the extended version. The extended version of Dark Star has a whopping 15 minutes added, which is insane for an extended version, so unless it's like John Hughes' cut.
Yeah. From what I understand of Dark Star, what you're calling the extended version is actually the theatrical version. The original version...
Whatever's on the Blu-ray.
Well, right. So the original version of the movie was only like 45 minutes long, and they made it as a student project. Somewhere down the line, decided that they were going to release it as like a theatrical film. So they filmed another, like, close to 30-ish minutes of footage. not quite, but somewhere up there to get the film up to like an hour, and it's like an hour and 18 minutes or something like that. And then that was the version that released. As far as I know, the original 45-minute cut does not exist anymore. No one has ever seen it except for the people who made it. But there is one other version of it, which is what we would call, I guess, the director's cut. But really what it is essentially...
It's not. John Carpenter didn't care enough to do a director's
So it's
cut.
a re-edited version of the movie, taking out most of the useless fluff that they added in to pad out the length of the movie. So that is the version that everyone should watch. That version is just barely over an hour. I think it's like an hour and 8 minutes. It's short. It's a lot better than it's a lot more palatable than the theatrical version. But yeah, very weird movie, very weird history. Pretty cool that we get to see like some real early work from like John Carpenter and Dan O'Bannon. We've been watching this movie since we were kids. Like I watched this movie. I must have been like 9 or 8 years old, probably about 8, maybe even 7 or 8 years old.
Younger
loved
than that.
it.
I watched it at like
loved
9.
This movie. Is a fantastic movie. I could not get enough of this movie. I never forgot it. Everything about this movie just like opened my mind to sci-fi concepts, like intelligent bombs. Why would you ever make that? People who have been traveling for 20 years and have only aged 3 years due to time dilation since they're traveling at light speed. Guy who is dead but has been frozen so they can keep his consciousness, so they can just ask him random questions about their job. Another cool concept.
Just like hear from them.
All of the astronomical concepts of the movie, like rogue planets and destroying planets to encourage colonization later on, like all that stuff.
The
is just
mothership
amazing.
that just takes care of you.
Takes care of them. All that stuff just really, really opened my mind to a whole world of sci-fi. I can't believe how good this movie is.
However much effect it had on you, it must have had the same effect on Ridley Scott.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You've described this movie to me as a pre-Alien, but that always kind of tripped me up because what does this movie have to do with Alien? It was made by John Carpenter. Where does the Alien connection come in? John Carpenter didn't make Alien.
Dan O'Bannon wrote this and made it with John Carpenter and started it.
Unless you're an Alien like super fan, you probably don't know this. But Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien. So, yes.
Co-wrote it, I think, but yeah. But like I said, if you watch The Thing, clearly Ridley Scott, Dan O'Bannon, John Carpenter were all kind of on the same wavelength.
Very much
in terms of just style.
But you might say that probably a lot of the initial atmosphere and setup of the entire Alien franchise came from Dan O'Bannon rather than Ridley Scott. And Ridley Scott's adaptation, of course, became more and more.
Have you watched Ridley Scott's films?
Right? Yes, exactly.
He's not like what you would call an auteur. Like he adapts his style to whatever the script is. Like his style is all over the place. Look at Alien and look at Prometheus. Look at Gladiator.
I know.
Like
yeah, no,
it's all over the place.
I agree. You're saying like he's like the Steven Spielberg of cinema. Wait, that's Steven Spielberg.
But Steven Spielberg already is that.
No, I mentioned that there was an alien on the ship with them, and that alien was actually just a beach ball. Like, it's clearly a beach ball. And when I call it a beach ball, that's the prop they used. and it doesn't look like anything else. It's literally just a beach ball.
They painted with kind of like a leopard
they
spot
put polka
pattern
dots on it. It's so good. But that got
it has little talons.
It's got like duck
near
feet.
the base.
But no, that got the gears in my head turning when I was like, wait, there's an alien on this ship, and what does it do? It kind of tries to kill them. What if that alien was actually a xenomorph? What if that alien was attempting to accomplish what the xenomorphs always try to accomplish in the alien films? So that's my theory for today, is that not only is this a proto-alien conceptual movie, but also this is the first alien movie in the Alien franchise with a xenomorph terrorizing these poor blue-collar space workers.
That does, what you just said does happen in this movie. It's not the only thing that happens in this movie, but I would say it's probably the storyline that most people remember from this movie the best.
A lot, yeah. I mean, I was
my
a kid,
favorite part.
Doolittle, the acting captain of this ship, doesn't want to go and find intelligent life. He would rather blow stuff up. And when he's justifying his decision, I love how Doolittle is so mad. He's so angry that the former Commander Powell made them go 14 light years out of their way to find a 99% probability of life, where he says in the Magellanic Cloud. And he's so mad about that, despite the fact that they did find it. They found intelligent life. He just hates that it's a vegetable beach ball and that it stinks when you touch it.
and despite their feelings about it and the fact that they call it stupid, it's highly intelligent.
It's smart. It's like a very intelligent creature, and they kidnapped it. I feel so bad for that poor beach ball. So he mentions that they found this alien 14 light years in the direction of the Magellanic Cloud. Now, if we look at the Alien series, it's really interesting because you'll find that all of the planets with xenomorphs on them congregate in one actual real-life section of our actual universe. Like the writers and directors, they all did their research because in Alien 1, the planet they're on, which has been named Archeron. It was, I think, originally just called LV-426, but later they gave it a real name.
Yeah.
That planet, and then the moon LV-223 from Prometheus, those planets are both in the Zeta Reticuli system, which is an actual star system. And they are somewhere around the realm of I think 30 to 40 light years from Earth. And if you look at this picture of the Zeta Reticuli system, captioned reticulum right there, and the large Magellanic Cloud.
I see it.
Right there. Literally, same direction. They're literally in the sky 1 degree from each other, which is as close as you can get as far as astronomic distances when looking out from Earth. And the reticulum, the Zeta Reticuli, is not a common name that you would just drop when talking about sections of the sky. That's a very, very specific star system, right? If you were going to say which direction you flew in to get somewhere, you would very, very much say we were flying towards the Magellanic Cloud, because that is a much larger structure in the night sky, and that defines the direction quite clearly. So I think also, if you wanted to actually fly to the large Magellanic Cloud, it's some ridiculous distance away. It is literally another galaxy, or it's actually a satellite galaxy of the Milky Way. It's hundreds of light years away, a massive amount of distance. Whereas the Zeta Reticuli star system is, like I said, only 30 to 40,000 light years. 30 to 40 light years away. So it would make much, much more sense for them to have flown in the direction of the large Magellanic Cloud, ended up somewhere near these planets that are being, colonized by xenomorphs, and potentially picked up a life form that had already been, face hugged or infected by the xenomorphs. So it makes perfect sense to me. And I think it's really weird that this, they very specifically just so happen to describe a direction in the universe, the universe being so unbelievably vast, we can't even describe how vast it is. But they picked literally the exact same direction that all of the Alien films take place in. And they say, we picked up an alien from there. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, that is interesting.
I think it's great evidence for this theory.
Obviously, someone, perhaps Dan O'Bannon, likes that area. And Ridley Scott. Although I'm not sure if the aliens are colonizing that area. It might be the engineers colonizing that area with aliens for some reason.
I mean, it is, and that was what I meant when I said that they're colonizing. I was sorry, just assuming that everybody knows that the engineers are doing that. At some point during their travels, Storage Area 9 self-destructed and destroyed all of their toilet paper, which
so they have no toilet paper.
Right, that seems like a big problem from just like not being able to clean themselves. But also, why did Storage Area 9 self-destruct? What happened there?
I assume for the same reason that Commander Powell's chair self-destructed.
Possibly. So
I think rightfully they act like Pinbeck is being so annoying by being nervous about
Pinbeck's
that.
Like, I don't want to sit next to this chair. It killed our commander. And they're like, shut up, Pinbeck. He's right.
He could die.
It's still not. And here's the thing: is it's not fixed. The faulty circuit that killed Commander Powell is still faulty. It would kill whoever else sits in that chair. They have an electric chair in their ship that is like actively killing whoever sits in it, and they're just not working to fix
the
it.
3 chairs that are still not electric chairs.
Yep. Oh, and all these chairs are like so cramped together. They are head to toe, right?
Right. This is like a
person
real
facing a person facing a person,
like NASA style.
Yes,
like it's very cramped. And I wanted to say, like, to support your theory that Dark Star and Alien are in the same universe, I think it would make sense. Just if you look at the Dark Star, the spaceship, and the Nostromo, because the Dark Star seems to be funded by the government,
right?
Which means it is severely underfunded.
Right, because only
whereas the Nostromo
in that universe.
is funded by Weyland-Yutani, which is a corporation, which makes sense because, this was made in the era of like the late 70s, 80s, where that was kind of what was happening was like corporations were getting big and government can't do anything, government sucks, politics.
It's crazy how that was happening and, it stopped happening.
Well, yeah.
It's not happening anymore, right? But no, what I was going to point out with this is just that very strange and catastrophic and potentially lethal things are happening on this ship that they brought an alien on board. Seems like potentially something's going around sabotaging their ship, which is kind of the behavior that might be exhibited by like a xenomorph. Going around setting things up to kill people. It's kind of what he does in the first Alien movie, sort of.
Kind. He has help from the cat, but
Whoa. Again, check out our Alien episode. Find out exactly what that evil cat was up to. A meteor storm is coming, and it is an actual storm in that it produces lightning. And despite the fact that they put up their shields and their force fields, the lightning from that meteor storm still manages to hit the laser bay panel, which causes one of the smart bombs to engage and leave its hangar. Luckily, the mother computer manages to convince it that they're not on a bombing run and it needs to return to the bay.
Bomb number 20, you're out of the bomb bay again. That was my favorite line from this movie.
I know. She sounds like such a motherly mother. She's like chiding it. But it's not out of the bomb bay again yet. This is the first time. I was also going to point out that, these guys, they don't know that things are wrong on the ship. They're just going about their business. They start hanging out, doing their thing. And the first thing Boiler does is get out his knife and he starts doing the android thing. He starts stabbing his knife as fast as he can between every finger, which I kind of
doesn't even happen in Alien. That happens in Aliens.
It happens in Alien
directed by
2,
James Cameron. So clearly something is going on with not the director here, but the writer.
The only thing I know from the Alien franchise is that anybody who does this knife trick where you stab in between your fingers as fast as you can with a knife is an android. So I'm pretty sure that Boiler is an android. I don't know.
Well, and also it's a nod. Like in so many Alien movies that have come since, they've done little nods to that knife trick thing because it's so famous. To the point where in Alien versus Predator, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, the Wayland Yutani CEO, or just Wayland CEO, who is Lance Henriksen, he's Bishop, the android. He does that thing, goes but he just does it kind of absentmindedly at the end of one shot with a pen between his fingers as like a little Easter egg.
Dude.
But like you would think that's an Easter egg to Alien, but wait, turns out it goes all the way back to Dark Star.
To Dark Star, yes. And I just have to point out that because of this scene and because of Dad pausing the movie when we got to this scene and explaining the relevance of this scene in the greater context of Aliens. So I remember he paused and he specifically pointed out, he was so excited. He was like, dude, he's like, kids, this guy doing this is important because in another movie called Aliens, there's another guy who does this and he does it so fast. He's so quick. And later you find out that he's an android. He's actually a robot. And that to me was the coolest thing ever.
He has white blood.
I was like, oh my gosh. So you mean like anyone who is fast enough and like accurate enough to do that must be a robot? And from that point on, I practiced that trick with every pencil I've ever owned. I was at school every day practicing that trick. Even though
it would be a good 2 decades before either of us actually watched Aliens.
Exactly. Never saw Aliens, but I was still doing the Aliens knife trick at school. Took a big chunk out of my finger with my eraser once. Because you know how like pencil erasers have the like that metal thing around them, you know?
Okay, yeah, I guess.
So I sliced that into the side of my finger and took a big chunk out of it. Oh man,
did you bleed white?
Yes, that was the weird thing, and I was like, oh no. And then like I just stopped being effective because someone like lightly pushed me into a wall. And I just couldn't.
You rolled up a newspaper.
Yeah, it was like rolling up a newspaper, shoving it in people's mouths. For some reason, I thought that would accomplish whatever goal I had at the time. Basically, the next few things that happen aren't really that important. We find out that Talby wants to see the Phoenix asteroids. Doolittle just wants to surf again. They're all kind of pining for home, having a real boring and kind of unsettling time on this ship. Boiler decides, I guess what he wants most is to shoot the lid to the heating unit with this crazy railgun, which I don't know why they have it. Like, I mean, for some reason, this whole situation...
Shoot the pins on the bomb.
I mean, that's what he wants to do with it later, but I don't think that's what it's for. Like, for some reason, this whole situation really irritates Pinback, which I'm kind of on his side. They shouldn't be shooting the lid to the heating unit.
Yeah, well, Pinback is depicted as very neurotic. He likes
but he's
safety.
Right. Like, he's on a freaking spaceship. Like, if anything goes wrong, they die.
He says.
Yeah, like everyone else on this ship is far too casual about everything. Like,
which
I mean,
is another similarity to Alien. You know, everyone has muted responses, like muted emotional responses to everything happening.
We talked
no matter how bad it gets.
Alien episode. No, I mean, I don't know, but all I know is that he's using a gigantic space rifle that seems to be like a railgun. And Pinback says, that's for emergencies only. I have no idea what kind of emergency would warrant the use of this gun. But
and it can't be alien emergencies because they have a tranquilizer gun for that.
No, yeah, exactly. Around this point, Pinback is called away by the computer. It's time for him to go feed the alien. He doesn't want to feed the alien, but he has to.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. They keep it in a locker room with a wall that is covered in moving rainbow lights that seem to be sentient.
Seem to also be sapient animals.
Yes. So as a kid, to me, I always just believed those were some other aliens that they brought on board.
Me too.
Because like he yells at them, he tells them, get away, and then they do.
Yeah.
But like, that's weird. Why are they just bringing tons of aliens on board? What are they doing?
I mean, that's one of their jobs.
Well, to study them, not to bring them home. Like the computer
but they're
is
not
mad at
scientists.
Him. The computer didn't want him to bring the alien on board. It says that he has to feed it because he said they needed to bring it on board because he said the ship needed a mascot. So he had to like justify it. They weren't supposed to bring it on board. Well, and I always love the part where he feeds it. He walks up to this alien, which, by the way, just a big old beach ball painted with some spots and big duck feet. He throws down a cabbage, and he's like, "We don't have any of the other stuff.
Like,
here, eat it. Eat it." This is a cabbage, a whole cabbage, and the alien doesn't want this cabbage. It squeaks and kicks it away.
It's just
like, get rid of that cabbage. I just love that he just expected the alien to eat its cabbage. Also, I just think it's so sad because, like, I mean, can you imagine if, like, you know, alien abductions were real and it was just like bored aliens on their blue collar job happened to pick up a human because they thought he was like cute, and then they don't actually want him around anymore, so they're just like, "Hey, stupid human, eat this," and he's like, "I'm stuck here. I want to go home." You know, like, that's essentially the situation that this poor beach ball is in. He didn't want to be on this spaceship. He just wants to go home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and my question is, does this creature eat cabbages? Has it eaten them before?
It certainly eats like mouse chew toys.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to eat his cabbage, and instead it jumps up on the wall. It waits there on the wall staring at him for a while, and then right when it sees its opportunity, it launches itself onto Pinback's back. It is back hugging him. Yeah. So, and then also it does crawl up his back towards his head and starts pulling his hair. It's trying to get to his mouth, dude.
He acts like it's hurt, like it's biting him somehow. We know it has a mouth down there.
Exactly. Probably two mouths if we know anything about xenomorphs.
Yeah.
I mean, so he gets it off of him and then it runs away, like real quick for a beach ball. I love this beach ball. I love this alien so much. Anyway, then he's trying to lure it back in.
Oh, and he's like, "Here, I got your toy," and holds out like a rubber rat and throws it to the alien.
Yeah.
Which doesn't seem smart since he's trying to lure it toward him, but whatever. And it stands on top of the rat, and this is when we learn that it has some sort of
it's got like a
mouth
squid beak under
it. Somewhere that we don't see, but you can hear it chewing and burping, and it eats the rat.
So as a kid,
the toy mouse.
That was always like hilarious to me. That he's like trying to get it to come back with this toy, and he throws the toy down, and then it just eats the toy. I'm like, I don't know. That was really funny.
It makes me wonder if this creature is even an herbivore.
I don't know.
And if it's even interested in cabbage.
Well, to me, it ate the toy as like a symbol of defiance. It's like, I don't want your stupid toy, jerk. I'm gonna eat it.
I wouldn't eat your cabbage.
Yes, I wouldn't eat that, but I will eat this toy. This one thing that I apparently like to play with. I would rather eat this than that cabbage. Somehow, it seems to like sting him by bopping his finger with its rubber ball part. But
he's like, "Ow!"
Yeah, but this is interesting though. But it does kind of sort of make sense from Doolittle's earlier description of this. He does say that the creature stinks when you touch it. So, you know, maybe it has like some sort of like, you know, it can emit some sort of
stings.
Well, I was thinking it's like a stinging nettle kind of plant thing, right? Like it emits some sort of like sap, and if you get stung by it, it hurts, right? And it also stinks. Okay. I don't know. Well, I mean, it sneaks up behind him and grabs his legs. I don't know what it's gonna do there, but he starts to beat it with a broom. And then it takes the broom and starts to beat him with the broom. I don't know how it takes the broom. It's just got feet on the bottom of it, but it somehow managed to outmaneuver him, grab the broom, and start chasing him down the hall with it. I love this alien. It's so great. So there's more evidence that this alien is a xenomorph. It then leads him into the ventilation shafts of the ship.
Oh, that's what xenomorphs do.
That's what xenomorphs do. And it's very similar to all the alien movies of this alien running into the ventilation shaft and then the person having to kind of hunt it down. It lures Pinback past the elevator shaft into the emergency airlock room, where it then runs past him, crosses the elevator shaft, and pulls away his bridge that he used to cross it. So he's now effectively stuck in that side of the ship. So, you know, this thing's not stupid. It's exhibiting, you know, pretty clever behaviors.
Very smart.
And then after it does this, it sits there guarding the exit on that side of the shaft so that even if he could get over, he can't get out. It's sitting there. It won't let him through.
Yeah. And attacks him, like just flies out.
Yep. Sure. Well, it only does that after he starts kicking it, though. It just sits there until he starts kicking it. he manages to just barely cross on this teeny tiny ledge. He makes it to the other side. He tries to kick it out of the way, and then it jumps at him. And whatever it's doing to him is apparently quite uncomfortable and is like pushing him down and eventually causes him to fall. We don't really know what it's doing it to him. It seems like a ball just like vibrating on his back, but he doesn't like it. Probably because that's all it was.
Tickling him.
All right, so he's barely clinging onto the edge, and then it back hugs him again and starts tickling him. It's trying to get him to let go. But then so that's evidence that it's a xenomorph. It likes jumping on people and hugging them. But then, just as the elevator is about to start moving again, it leaves. It gets out of the way of that elevator, which again is evidence of, pretty decent intelligence. Like it knows when to leave and when to stop tickling him, even though it clearly wants to kill him. So Pinback barely manages to climb up. And as he's climbing up, the elevator comes down and mushes right up against his face. It seems like it stopped because it senses him there. But then it keeps like trying to descend and like pushing his face back until he has to fall and like grab onto the elevator itself. After Pinback is stuck on the elevator, the alien makes its way back into the airlock on the other side of the elevator. And then in the airlock, we find out is that laser panel that got zapped by the meteor storm. And it pushes past that panel and starts messing with the laser mechanism. Like the piece of the ship that got broken during the storm. It's really weird. It's like using its duck feet to manipulate this laser. And I don't know if it's trying to fix it or what, but either way, it gets zapped and then the bomb activates again. But I kind of think that this alien understands that something bad happened that will lead to it dying. And that's why it started acting up and trying to get past Pinback to get down here. Because it's like, I gotta fix that laser. It's gonna cause the bombs to, blow us up. You might say that doesn't sound like a xenomorph, except that the xenomorph on the Nostromo somehow knew the ship was about to explode. And in doing so, what did it do? Number one,
it took a nap.
No, number one, it sat there guarding the exit of the Nostromo to the escape pod. Just like this alien sat there guarding, the other door past the elevator, right? It entered the escape pod and kind of wedged itself in the safest spot in there, which apparently was the wall. Just like this alien seemed to know where the cause of the problem was and then did its best to diffuse that problem. Just saying, these xenomorphs seem to know when there is imminent danger, and then they do their best to either get out of there or stop the danger. So it seems like xenomorph kind of behavior to me. Pinback has a real hard time with that elevator. He manages to unscrew the bottom panel and climb through halfway, which, by the way, this dude has some major arm strength. Like, he's just been hanging on to ledges for like the past 20 minutes.
This is Dan freaking O'Bannon.
I guess so.
This guy's been typing away on his typewriter, writing scripts for.
Whoa, he's got some strong fingers.
He's got grip.
Whoa. He tries to get into this elevator, but he gets stuck halfway through. He can't use the phone in there because it's out of order. There's a control panel on the wall that mostly
not out of order.
Well,
so much that Mother can't speak from it and say this
Mother
phone
tells
is out
you
of order.
It's out of order. Yes, so clearly he could contact the computer through it. But anyway, there's a control panel on the wall that seems to mostly turn on like that Figaro Figaro song as loud as possible, which again is pretty useful. And then he finally finds the button to initiate the elevator cleaning procedure, which I just love when the computer is like, good for you. You've decided to clean the elevator. She's so supportive. She's like,
no one else does.
Well, right. When these stupid blue-collar dudes do something good, she really has to like give them positive reinforcement. She's like, good job. You're cleaning the elevator. You're so cool.
She's a good parent.
But either way, cleaning the elevator apparently causes the explosive charges
blowing
to
up
blow the bolts in the floor
which
plate.
Is where he's stuck.
Right. So he gets blown up, but he's fine. Either way, it gets him out somehow, but now he's mad. So he goes and grabs the anesthetic gun, which shoots sleeping darts, He finds the alien in the vents and he says, "It's time to go sleepy bye, you worthless piece of garbage." And then he kills the poor alien. He shoots it and it pops. It's clearly a balloon.
Shoot a dart at it.
Dude, you know it's a beach ball. Why would you shoot it with a dart? Anyway, that's the last we see of this poor alien. It deflates, flies around the room, and then he picks up its deflated corpse, and then he tells everyone all about it. And they don't want to hear it. They don't care at all. They're not listening. No. He's like, fine, maybe I just won't talk about it. And they're like, I think that would be a good idea, Pinback. They just don't want him to talk.
Just to support your theory, I don't know if we talked about this yet, but aliens look like what they infect.
Yes.
So an alien that infects a human is very humanoid. An alien that affects a predator has like weird mandibles.
And like dreadlocks, which I think is stupid. They shouldn't get dreadlocks. Yeah. They should have the same alien head.
But whatever. An alien that infects a dog, as we see in Alien 3.
Becomes a weird dog head alien thing, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
or
also
alien cubed.
There's also one other really good example of this was the Xenomorph frog. Basically, it was created by a Chinese artist named Li Changchun and posted online. And I think it was sort of like concept art for one of like the new Alien movies, potentially. But the photos of this alien Xenomorph frog leaked online, and people thought that it was like a real frog, like some new species that had been discovered. Even though to me, it kind of looks like it's clearly just like made of like painted clay. But anyway.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, technically that could exist, even if it's just concept art. If there was a frog big enough to get face hugged, then yeah, we would get a Xenomorph frog. That's what we would get. If there was some alien living out there in, the direction of the Magellan Clouds that was mostly beach ball in nature, if it got face hugged, it would produce a mostly sort of beach ball Xenomorph. That's what would happen. So there you go.
I guess. And then to support your point that aliens are smart and they'll try to find ways to escape. In Alien Resurrection, one alien is smart enough to know that it can kill its friend and use the acid to melt through the floor and escape.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's a good. I don't care what anyone says. Alien Resurrection it's a masterpiece. I love the heck out of that movie.
At very least better than Alien 3. Dude, I don't understand why people rank 3 higher.
I can understand not liking Alien Resurrection. I can't understand rating Alien 3 better. Like Alien 3.
No, Alien 3 is terrible. Alien 3 is just Alien 2 again, but it sucks. Yeah. And everyone you liked dies, including Ripley
and Newt.
So.
No, but I mean, Alien Resurrection is worth watching just for those underwater scenes. Those must have been so incredibly hard for them to film.
No, so there's a very good story that Sigourney Weaver told, which I know because I was a archivist for the American Film Institute, and I listened to all the interviews. Sigourney Weaver was being interviewed, and she told this story where she had been filming the underwater scenes, which are really intense if you watch that movie.
It's crazy.
And
it's like a 20-minute segment of that movie where everything happening is underwater. Like that would have been ridiculous because it's not CGI water. They're actually like the actors diving for minutes on end.
The actors had to dive. And they had to swim the route, and they would have people they could go to for air and like tap them for air. And it was dangerous and crazy and really intense. And Sigourney Weaver came home one day really tired from doing this. And she said to her husband, she was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. This is hard. It's crazy. I can't go back there and shoot more underwater scenes. I can't do this. And her husband said to her, you know what? You're right. You can't do this, but Ripley can.
Wow.
And she was like, okay. And she went back and she finished the movie because she had to do it because Ripley could do it.
Dude, that man did not marry Sigourney Weaver. That man married Ellen Ripley. He must be like the biggest Alien fan ever. That's so cool.
I don't even know who her husband is. But
dude, it's probably like Jason Alexander or something. That's most people's husbands. Oh boy, that's such a good story. I love that story. Ripley can. You can't do this, but Ripley can. Because Ripley's an actor. I think that probably
I think
Sigourney Weaver is more suited to this.
He knows how good an actor his wife Sigourney Weaver is, and if she can truly embody Ripley, she can do anything.
Become a badass. Like in real life, she could fight those aliens. The rest of the movie is more or less about them dealing with the issues that arise because of that meteor storm causing a bomb. One of the bombs wants to go off. A lot of things happen that are avoidable, which could easily be overcome if they just communicated with each other. Basically, Talby...
They're really bad at talking.
Yeah, I know. Talby figures out what the problem is. He figures out that the communication laser, whatever that is malfunctioning, and that this is going to cause problems with the bombs. So he tells them, and he puts on a starsuit to go into the emergency airlock to investigate. Unfortunately, they basically ignore him, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, Talby. And then later that night, the computer warns them. The computer confirms what Talby says. It's like, yes, I also found that this communication laser is malfunctioning, and do not engage the bomb drop procedure until this is fixed. But nobody hears it, and Talby may have heard that, but he's already trying to fix it. So they didn't hear it, so they decide to drop a bomb on this rogue planet. I love their ridiculous spacesuits with the unbelievably long neck portion and the tiny bubble view on the top of that. I love their stupid spacesuits.
That actually leads me into one point I wanted to make, which is, if this movie isn't parodying Alien, which it could not be, what is it parodying?
I don't know.
Because it clearly is parodying something.
So, I mean...
and after watching this, it is definitely parodying 2001 A Space Odyssey, which was made in 1968. Yeah. This was in 74. Space Odyssey had a huge effect on all of cinema, especially on like film students, I would imagine, in the 70s.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure John Carpenter loved Kubrick's work, although John Carpenter himself has said, I don't think he dislikes The Shining, but he considers it to be one of the most unintentionally hilarious horror films ever made, and he thinks it is not scary in the slightest.
Yeah, well, I think that about The Thing. So there. Take that, John Carpenter. More like John's stupid face. No, actually, I agree with him. I love The Shining in every way. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is pretty hilarious. It's also pretty terrifying, but it's a hilarious movie. I love The Shining.
I think that this is obviously making fun of 2001, A Space Odyssey, and I think that those spacesuits are a huge nod to that, because the spacesuits in 2001 are pretty stupid too. Not quite that stupid, but I think that that's kind of the design they were basing it on. Mother Computer is like...
No, Mother Computer isn't Hal. The bombs are HAL 9000.
Well, she's like, but she's like intentionally the opposite of HAL.
Right,
like,
yes, that's true.
She's the most kind, helpful, nice computer that ever existed.
Well, and then it's great because, well, you've said this before, that the characters in 2001: A Space Odyssey are not humans, they are robots, right? In that every single instant of every single day, they are always doing exactly the right thing,
right,
and doing it as perfectly as possible.
Human character,
and they're not emoting, right? So, like, what is this guy doing? Right before breakfast, he's literally running like infinite laps around the ship to keep himself in good shape, right? And then what do? They have perfect interviews with the government that loves them so much, right? Like, everything about this is just showing how perfect the situation is and how pristine space travel is going to be. And then you got Dark Star, which is the absolute opposite. No interviews. Government doesn't care about them. It's not even going to send them radiation shielding for the radiation leak that is currently on their ship. The people never do what's right. They don't exercise. They go and grab a gun and start shooting at the heat lid, right? Like, they're always doing the wrong thing. The computer actually takes care of them, but then we've also got the bombs, which are going to kill them because they're sentient. So, I mean, it's a really good parody of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think it's pretty much, perfect as far as that's concerned. Talby is trying to fix the malfunction. He's in the airlock. He lets them know, but freaking Doolittle just mutes him. Talby starts a laser test, and he's trying to adjust the Q switch, but then he taps the laser beam with his suit on accident, causing like a bright flash that blinds him. And then he stumbles into the path of the laser beam, which the ship tells him definitely don't do that. And apparently she was right, because that causes like multiple computers to start on fire, and also absolutely destroys the bomb drop mechanisms. Now the bomb is stuck in the ship, even though they've already armed it. So yeah, they're in big trouble now. One of my favorite all-time parts of this movie was always the bomb did not drop alarm. I always love that sound when he says 3, 2, 1, drop, and then it goes like. I just thought that was a great alarm. Like it sounds so deflated. Like, oh, we couldn't do it. Oh man. I am very impressed that the ship then contacts them and is like, I'm heavily broken now, so I can't do much. But I have activated somehow automatic dampeners, which will confine the explosion to a 1 mile diameter, which is unbelievable for a planet-destroying bomb. I don't know how she's confining it, but geez Louise, like this bomb destroys planets, and she's gonna keep it within 1 mile, and she does, because several of them survive when it explodes later on. Spoilers. But yeah, they don't know what to do, so Doolittle's like, I gotta ask Powell what to do. Powell being the frozen former captain. Powell says they need to teach the bomb about phenomenology, which is like the philosophy of existence, which Doolittle does. I don't know if he does it in the right way, though. And again, I always loved this conversation as a kid, just because of like the philosophical ramifications, and like he's not wrong in anything that he says. But also, I don't know if he's getting the desired result. But basically, he convinces this bomb that it exists, but nothing else does.
Nothing else does.
He's like, you exist, but you can't be certain that any of your sensory inputs are correct. Therefore, you have no proof that anything else exists.
No reason to explode.
But I'm also like, then he has no reason not to explode. That doesn't seem like the right angle. But anyway, Pinback and Boiler have a little fight over the gun, because Boiler wants to shoot the lock mechanisms on the bomb in the bomb bay. I don't know how he's going to do that. If he's going to like put on a spacesuit and go out in space, I have no idea. They don't manage to do that because Doolittle manages to convince the bomb to go back into the bomb bay. Unfortunately, in the bomb bay, when Boiler contacts the bomb to try and disarm it, it tells him that it has decided that he is false data and it will ignore him. And then it has also decided that it is the only thing that exists, and therefore it is God.
In the beginning, there was darkness, and I moved upon the darkness.
In accomplishing its one purpose, which is to explode, it must be creating creation, creating the universe. Which is actually a pretty decent conclusion if you concluded, if you are, following the logic that you're the only thing that exists and you have one purpose. That purpose must be to create the universe, right?
So it says, "Let there be light," and then it explodes and everyone dies.
Yep.
Except for Doolittle and Talby, because they're already out of the spaceship.
Well, not just them. So I always loved Doolittle's comment, which was, "Oh, hey, the skipper made it," as this block of ice floats past. And he's like, "Man, the skipper was always lucky." I'm like, no, he wasn't. He was the least lucky. What are you talking about, you stupid moron?
Stuck in a block of ice.
He's dead. He's sitting in a block of ice, and now he's floating through space. He's not so unlucky. Anyway, the movie ends in what I can only describe as a true cinematic masterpiece, with Talby getting exactly what he wanted.
It's full circle. They get what they wanted.
Talby gets to go with the Phoenix asteroids and explore the universe with them forever. And Doolittle grabs a piece of the ship and rides one final wave into the atmosphere. He surfs his way down to the planet as a falling star. Just an amazing ending. Like, oh my gosh, what a good ending.
I love it.
I don't even like Doolittle.
And then it plays that ending song, which as a kid, I loved that song. Even though I thought that it started with, it came from Arizona, but I think it says in Payson, Arizona. Yeah, dude, now that I listen to it, it sounds way too country.
I was going to say, but as a kid, like really country and not very fitting in my opinion. But
as a kid, though, I thought it was like, wow, like
it came from Arizona. Now
poignant ending
out in space, and they're blowing up the planets, and they're dying here. Hey, is that what you thought that song was about?
Yeah, basically.
Whoa. Anyway, I mean, I think the other evidences from everything I just described that this is in the Alien universe would basically come down to how everything is going wrong. There are preventable problems that you could have fixed just by better communication, but the people aren't communicating, and they're not typically extremely, I would say, proactively competent at their jobs. Anyone who hasn't seen Dark Star, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to just grab your significant other, turn on this film, and bore the crap out of them. Make them wonder why they ever married you.
Don't ever make anyone watch the long version of it. Find a version that's only like an hour long.
And then follow it up by making them watch Disney's The Black Hole with you. Like, that'll be even better. We should cover that movie. That's a weird movie.
Black Hole has no excuse. That we didn't even watch the extended version. It's just boring.
Yeah. But no, it's a great movie. Everyone should watch it. And any fans of sci-fi.
How did they not like The Black Hole? There's like so much,
dude. The Black Hole,
much robot rape in that movie.
Nuts. Like, yeah, there's a lot of robot rape going on, and then like a lot of ending up in literal hell going on. Like, geez, what a weird movie. How is that movie Disney? What were they even doing? It's so sad because like Disney,
it's like.
Disney thought they were funding
Star Wars.
Yeah, they thought they were funding like the next Star Wars, and then the director was like, "No, this is actually my weird,
like a hard sci-fi, just weird existential philosophical
heaven and hell metaphor." I was like, "Oh, those poor Disney execs, they had no idea." Anyway, we could talk about that.
You know what?
Later
I'm sure that put the fire underneath them, and many decades later, they bought Star Wars.
And then they ruined Star Wars because they had no plan, no ambition. They didn't know what to do. They just wanted money.
They needed someone with some like life and heaven and hell philosophy to tell them what to do.
Well, they just needed someone with any sort of ambition. Like, I mean, seriously, J.J. Abrams?
Not J.J.
The dude does not care about anything he makes. He's literally just trying to like shock the audience and then get money, you know? Anyway.
Okay. Sorry. Music for this episode is provided by Christine.
Hope you liked this episode. If you did, make sure to rate us, give us a high rating, give us a review. Tell your friends about us because, you know, the more of your friends who listen to this podcast, the more people you'll have to talk about these awesome fan theories, and the more people we will have to spread the word of all these crazy things that nobody actually knew until we revealed them. It'll be great. We'll turn the whole world into our own little fan theory fan club. And if you really love what we do, you can always support us. We've got a Patreon. Get in there. Send us whatever support you're willing to send. We would appreciate it so much. It would mean the whole world to us. And as a perk, if you do that, you can even hear some of the outtakes of our episodes. You want to tell them about the outtakes, Leif?
Yeah. I mean, what can be said that wouldn't turn into an outtake itself? Yeah, you know what? Every time we record for about twice as long as what you hear, if not 3 times as long.
Yes.
And sometimes the things we cut out are actually good.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear those little nuggets that maybe are actually good or funny or interesting.
Well, yeah, if you want to peek behind the scenes of how it is when we record an episode, if you just can't get enough of our voices and want to hear a little more, get on Patreon, send us your support, and you'll get exclusive access to those clips. It's a lot of fun. I think it's fun. I could listen to us talking for like literally, an entire day. I love it.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, so you would too if you're listening to this. Yeah. Clearly. I mean, you're still listening and we're in like the ending spiel. Like if you're still listening now, this is for you. So what are you doing? Get on Patreon. Get over there.
And until next time, remember, the popcorn isn't real.
In a world of shadows and dreams, nothing is quite what it seems. We're the fools in a midnight reel. The popcorn isn't real. Chasing clues through the silver screen, wishing for a tale that's unseen. Hold my hand through this hazy spiel. The popcorn isn't real. Behind the curtain, there's nothing to feel. The popcorn isn't real. Caught in a moment that will never heal. The popcorn isn't real. We craft a fiction within fiction's mind, searching for secrets we'll never find. Every clue just a future we steal. The popcorn isn't real. We whisper theories, but they all fade. A fleeting ghost in a midnight parade, holding on to that surreal's appeal.